What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another live to roll. Just kind of doing a hangout Thanksgiving week show. So if you guys have any questions, want to talk about anything, drop it in the chat. We just got Tom and I this week. Bobby was a little busy with some family stuff as well, so just wish.
Bobby's having fun.
Yeah, Bobby's having fun, and
Hell no, no.
Tom and I are both a little feel like tired. Maybe slightly under the weather on things, but feeling good. Gonna hang out and yeah, just have a good time with you guys. So, like I said, I'm Shawn, C5, C6 quadriplegic from a snowboarding accident. 20 coming up on 21 years now in a couple months, but 20 years now.
21 years in a couple months. That's your Fibonacci number. It's like big one.
And I just turned 42, and I got hurt at 21, so I am. It's also that like half-life thing we always talk about thing where it's like now half the years I've been on the earth I've been spent as a quadriplegic.
Yeah, I'm a little out of balance in that
Oh yeah,
department.
you're way over
Uh,
here.
I'm Tom Conaway. I'm C6B quadriplegic, aka incomplete quad. Um, for the last 27 years. Um, And yeah, coming at you from not so sunny Southern California. It's a little gray and rainy today, but it is the end of November, so we're here for it. And yeah, we're chatting, we're talking. It's the holiday season, which can be a lot of fun times for people, hopefully with family and friends. It can also be a hard time of year for a lot of people too. The holiday season can be good. It hopefully is, but it can also be hard for some people, or it can be good and still hard time of year. Depending on your situation and stuff like that. So we're here to hang out with you. If you guys don't have anybody else to hang out with right now, and do a little bit of holiday celebrating. So yeah, Shawn, you said you're out in Joshua Tree,
Yeah, I was gonna mention
coming
that
off your
too.
birthday.
Yeah, so yeah, last week, my birthday last Thursday, we came out here the following day on Friday. I've been out here for the weekend, staying through Thanksgiving and coming back next week after the weekend. So it'll be fun, nice little trip. And it's cloudy out, but you can see the sun kind of starting to set over in this direction out here in Joshua Tree. It's not raining. Supposed to get some rain tonight maybe, but it's actually really just beautiful. Kind of windy today, but it's been really nice out here. So good,
Yeah,
cool
it's very
for holidays for me.
very quiet and peaceful
Very.
and nice out in the desert. It's just great to get away from the city. View from the chair. Call off the urban search and rescue because I'm back, baby.
Hey, yeah,
What's going on? And welcome back. The
that's,
search is officially called off. Thank you for letting us know.
yeah, Mario, welcome. I saw Graciela was in our chat too earlier. I saw, welcome Gracie. I haven't seen you in there in a little bit either. So thank you guys, Mom, Leah also here with me. But yeah, so
Shout
we're all
out,
just hanging out.
shout out everybody. Thanks for stopping by. What's up, Graciela? Nice to see you in the chat. And yeah, how do you like Turkey Day, Shawn? Do you like to eat a bunch of food? Is that the plan?
Yeah,
Talk
but we're
about what you're
actually
thankful for.
not really doing a traditional like turkey or anything at all this year. We actually got a rotisserie chicken to make because it's just the two of us and we're gonna do one. But we're actually gonna do that the day after Thanksgiving, not on Thanksgiving. We're doing it on Friday, not on Thursday. We're gonna do our own nacho platter for Thanksgiving. So we're keeping it fresh, new, totally different. But I do like Thanksgiving. I love it. Um, it's just nice time of the year. I do like eating a lot, and I like some of the desserts and the time of the weather, just everything cooling down and getting nice, and just that like fall, winter kind of weather. And yeah, man, I do like it. And I do enjoy
I
some
like
turkey potatoes, but wait next year or something.
no,
Have
I
some
like the
over.
I like the chicken move. Also, like there's still Christmas, like a lot of people do like hammered turkey for that too. So, there's a chance to rent it back. And I've done that before, like for a couple Thanksgivings. It's just been like me and my sister, like here at my apartment. And she'll do that. Like, we're not gonna eat like a 15-pound turkey and even like leftovers for that. It's like insane. So we just did like a roasted chicken and like the fixins, and that's fun and like that's cool.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's different and cool, and Leah prefers chicken to turkey, anyways. It's the superior bird, in her opinion. So for us, it's good, anyways. Could eat just some nice. We do have potatoes and stuff as well. So, but yeah, so we're just kind of doing different thing, but it's fun. I like change up. Our family this year wasn't really getting together. My mom wasn't coming out to California and stuff, so. Um, it's really nice for us just to have our own little vacation tradition.
Yeah, no, that's cool and that's fun. Doing your own thing. Um,
I already had
yeah,
Thanksgiving, and uh, yeah, you guys probably. I guess that's anybody that's international probably not celebrating Thanksgiving or eating turkey. Or some people I know just don't choose to celebrate it as well for other reasons.
yeah. I mean, it's an interesting holiday. Like I think I know Graciela said it. Like someone asked her what she's doing for Thanksgiving. She's like, I don't know. I'll probably just give thanks. I think I don't know. As a Native American person myself, like it's a little difficult to like celebrate. Like the settlers like coming and like breaking bread with the Native Americans that they're about to genocide. But I think it is always a good opportunity to remember what you're thankful for in life. Remember the people that you're thankful for, all the blessings and,
Yeah,
the things that we have to be thankful for because it is certainly a lot. I mean, I think depending on your perspective. So, any chance to set aside some time and just hang out with your people and give thanks. Like I think that's solid, healthy, good thing to do.
yeah, the giving thanks I feel like is always good, and just being able to be with family and enjoy it. And but yeah, that's just I feel like being grateful, being thankful for your life, your family, your friends. It's kind of what it's about. Things you have in life, right?
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
and Mario, view from the chair, asked if I've had turducken, hen. I guess that's the turkey, duck, and hen. I've never eaten one of those kind of thing inside the thing. But Tom, have you ever tried any of those things?
I think if I did that, I'd probably like have to go vegetarian for a year afterwards, just for the crime against humanity that I committed by shoving a bird inside of another bird inside of another bird and so gluttonously eating it. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's maybe just like a silly internet thing. I can't imagine it being that great, but so no, I've never done it. More power to you if you have. Um, and yeah, don't forget the consumer holiday that follows the day of giving thanks, which is Black Friday, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And even Live Troll, I mentioned last Tuesday that I have the new camo colored hats I had ordered for the sports festival, but that didn't happen. So Black Friday is the debut. I'm gonna post on Instagram tomorrow. If you guys want to check them out, check them out. They are on the website already, but I'll put a little Black Friday sale thing and all that going. So we have our own small Black Friday sale.
That's
Uh,
the only thing I've been spending my money on is Black Friday. Everything's
yeah,
too darn expensive. But
and I can also
make sure.
recommend for my birthday, Leah actually bought me a bunch of KFK design stuff. She bought me the quad reacher, so now I'm trying to utilize my grabbing skills. Not quite like Tom's one-armed grabber skills, but that quad grabber thing is really cool. And she got me a knife, the chopping knife. So I've been learning to chop vegetables. Dude, I tried an avocado yesterday, actually. I don't know how you do that. I was able to puncture and get it like most of the way around. Um, but I'm still working on my knife skills, practicing up here. So those are some good. Check out KFK Designs or Abilities, both our friends that make some cool stuff for if you're buying for quads or anybody with some adaptive needs.
I've been using the Hook It. What's
Yeah, the
it? Is
hookets are
that
really awesome too.
ever since oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. Help
Chad,
me out, Sean.
since Chad was on the
Chad.
yeah,
Chad, my man Chad. I'm sorry, Chad. I Chad was so sweet. He like sent a letter and a couple of the Hookits, and I drop my I use grabbers all the time, like the reachers, whatever you want to call them, but I drop them too. So now I got like my Hookits as like my backup. That like I keep over by like my mop and my um, broom, and if I drop my grabber, I can just grab one of those bad boys and like hook it real quick and pull it up. And it's been cool and useful, and not just for grabbing my grabbers, but just like hooking other things off the floor. Sometimes like I don't know with that, there's no like mechanical part. Like you just kind of like put your wrist in it and you just like hook and lift.
yeah,
Whereas like with the reacher, you have to, there's like an action where you have to like squeeze the handle to get it to grip. So being able to just have like a solid hook where there's like nothing mechanical that I have to squeeze is advantageous for getting some things up, especially like heavy stuff that's like hard to like keep like the grab on. So it's been cool. Shout out Chad and his
yeah.
cool
Yeah,
quad tool.
Chairlife, chairlife.com. Check them out too. Another great one. And yeah, I love the Hook It too. I actually use the Hook It pretty much every day because we bought these like mason style jars with little snap lid things, and they're hard for me to pick up. But with the Hook It, I can grab those things like nothing. They hook right under. I can pick them up off the floor, like low places, even when they're heavier. Um, so I've been using it like that, and then trying to figure out how to use the reacher better. That thing is it's hard to. I admire your reacher abilities, especially with the one hand thing. But the two hands, even with the two, like, because I can hold my backhand to like hold it in, and it's still kind of difficult to like get it up and then like over and. Um,
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just a lot of practice, and like I don't know, everyone has different. I feel like every quad body is a little bit different, right? Like we're all like a fingerprint. Like certain muscles, certain actions, like certain movements are, maybe a little bit easier for one of us compared to the other. And kind of figuring out your style, like your own quad style, I think is like, paramount to like success. And the only way to do that is like practice. But also I've been using a reacher for like 15, 20 years. So, like you spend like a decade doing anything consistently, the odds are you'll get good at it. So, like talk to me in another 10 years and you'll be a pro too.
yeah, I feel like
And Jay, you're right. Tom
he
is a
is.
hooker in every sense of the word. Um,
He is. I guess we're both
um,
technically hookers. There's a lot of quad hookers out here because Bobby's a hooker. We're all out here hooking.
how many reachers does everyone have for their reachers? I got two reachers for my reachers. I got four in total. Well, actually five, but one of them is like crappy and I only use if I'm real dire straits and everything's on the floor. So I guess technically I got five laying around. And I think it's important to have a bunch because sometimes I'm in like different parts of the room and like, you gotta have convenience and access to, different uh different grabbers. Like I got two over by my desk. I got two over by my pantry. I got one like folded up and tucked away somewhere in case, like there is no other recourse.
Yeah, that's what I have started to notice. It is hard because having to go get the reacher to bring it over to do what you're going to do, having them in convenient places is definitely seems like it's helpful. And I was going to mention too, I saw on Kelly's Instagram, he mentioned Leah just bought me the regular reacher, but he's coming out with I think he's trying to have him out for Black Friday. He has a foldable one and a locking one. So one that you can actually pull, twist to lock, and it'll hold, so you can use both hands to like get whatever you want up, because the grabber locks. So yeah, two
The
cool.
foldable one is really awesome. This one, it like has little locks on it, and it folds. I could break it down, but it'll take me a minute, and I don't want to do it. But I love it can fold because I'll keep it in my bag. You know, I can't tell you how many instances like I've been out rolling, cruising, you know, on a sidewalk or something, and I dropped my bag or I dropped my phone or I dropped something and I was out, like I was out and about. And I've been out and about and dropped things before where I didn't have a grabber and I just like stuck waiting for someone to walk by. And depending on the time of day or night, that could be a little uh, just you don't really know if someone's gonna come by, and you know, depending on what it is, like it can just be frustrating. But now I almost always keep a extra grabber folded up in my bag, tucked in the bottom, just in case like it's an emergency and I got to get something up off the ground and I'm out and about. So little quad tip: there's tons of really reliable grabbers that fold that easily fit within like my side bag, which is tiny. It's like a 15-inch laptop bag. So
I was gonna say, so for Mario in the chat, maybe not attaching it to the wheelchair, but you have a power chair. You can probably get like a nice little side bag like Tom has that you can just drop it in there. You know, drop it in now and have a couple things in there. Uh,
yeah, I mean honestly, I love the idea of almost having to like Velcro to your chair somewhere, or you know, just like ready to go. No matter where you're rolling, you can always just grab it and use it. That I don't know if you could like figure out how to rig it up in a good place. That might be kind of cool too.
yeah, no, that would be cool too if you could just something that either Velcros or like even if you were real fancy and made like a little 3D printed one that like snaps in, you know, like a little something
Yeah.
like that be cool. But but yeah, all those are cool tools. And I was going to mention, Mickey mentioned she just watched Daruma, had 9.0 in the on IMBD, and yeah, it was an awesome one. He was on the episode. You can just see it says like, just search Daruma on if you want to look at that. Watch that episode, Mickey, again. Um,
Yeah, also if you're on YouTube and you just go to our lives that we've done, it's
yeah, you
like
can
within the
scroll
last
back.
couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
scroll back.
not very far to scroll down and see.
Um, but yeah, and then Jay said, "Yeah, go graduate reacher." uh, Tom can kind of whip that foldable one out pretty quick and gangster style with like go.
Well, I used to with like my old grabbers, but they both broke. So I got a couple new ones, and there's like locks on it now. So it's kind of good in the sense that when I'm picking things up, like it won't fold on me, like without me intending it to. But I can't really like only like when I'm I guess opening it up, like I can whip it open. But usually like it's all locked and stuff. And I don't know, at least the ones I keep in my apartment, like I usually don't fold up just because it's too inconvenient to unfold them every time. Whereas the other ones, like they folded so easy that I would keep them folded a lot just for like space saving. But it's the same brand. It's just like a slightly different variation of their grabber. And I guess I could tell the brand. It's called Kek. I don't know how to pronounce it. Kekoi, Kekoi on Amazon. It's like $20 for two grabbers. They got magnets on them. They're like rated for like 5 or 10 pounds, like picking stuff up, which is pretty solid and like it works good. I would only say the thing about it is the wear and tear. It's like 5 or 6 months. Like after 5 or 6 months, guaranteed the wire will snap on me, and that's frustrating. But every grabber has like a failure point at some point, you know, except for the hook. It probably that might last forever.
Well, that because that's no movable parts. It's literally
Yeah,
of aluminum. Like it's just like, and dude, isn't that thing surprising? It's so lightweight, right? When you pick it up for how sturdy and good, nice it is.
it's
I was like, this
almost
thing literally
too
feels like
lightweight
nothing
sometimes.
in my hand. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty wild. So that's yeah, that's one really cool thing for the hook it. I love that. Um, but yeah, oh hey, what's up, Roy? How's it going? Good to see you too. Glad to see you've been back,
Roy,
hanging out.
hope you are well, dude. You and the missus?
Yeah, how's
It's been
everybody
a
else
minute.
doing? Anybody going anywhere or traveling for the holiday for Thanksgiving? I keep hearing on the little station we were listening to out here that like a record like 80 million people are supposed to be traveling for the holiday weekend this Thanksgiving, um, according to like AAA statistics. uh, but yeah, that's
Gonna be a lot of fun family conversations this time of year, for
I know.
sure.
Yeah, lots of yeah. There could be some. That's the one thing about families. I feel like at holiday things like that, you got to just keep like religion and politics are kind of should be left at the door.
They
Probably
should be.
not
They,
safe
they should
topic.
be. Unless you all know you agree beforehand on
Uh,
all viewpoints.
but yeah, and that's like I can't even really imagine doing like major travel on Thanksgiving weekend or Christmas, like any of the major holiday weekends. I feel like that should just it looks hectic. Traveling non-holiday weekends is hectic as all hell. Like shit is hard. So I can't even imagine trying to do it when there's like an increase of an influx of more people.
Yeah, no doubt. That's got to be, yeah, a lot of extra stress and a lot of extra stuff. But I don't know. I mean, it's great if you get opportunity to go see your friends and your family or your people. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And hopefully the travel, if anybody is doing any, isn't difficult or stressful. But I like to keep it easy, keep it chill, keep it local.
Yeah, no, it is a lot easier. Just kind of staying. But even I think they considered on that little ad traveling over 50 miles. So technically, you probably would still be traveling because you're going to your parents. I think that's probably a.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm taking the train on Thanksgiving Day, so I don't know. We'll see. Like, I looked up the holiday schedule and stuff to like figure out the timing and everything already. And I don't know. I kind of like traveling on a holiday just because I don't know. I like I just like talking to strangers or just like being on the move and cruising. Um, spreading a little holiday cheer to some strangers. But yeah, like I'm going 100 miles, so it's very I guess it's double the qualified travel, but I'm still staying pretty local, so it's all good.
Yeah, no. And I guess I did also travel, but I'm traveled well before, and then I'm making sure to stay a couple days after the weekend, so that
Yeah,
it's
and I don't know if yours counts because like I mean you didn't travel too far either, and you
no,
traveled to the middle of nowhere. I
it's a
mean
2 hour
I'm
drive.
traveling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and to
and,
know
like, I'm traveling to not, like, a busy area, so I don't know, like, I don't think there's gonna be too much train traffic going out to Antelope Valley, but you never know.
uh, yeah, no. And you guys, are you where? I'm trying to think of how you. I don't know where all the deserts. Like how close to your parents.
It's, like, close to Nevada,
Oh, you guys are okay.
like yeah, kind of like southeast, like more east, than south, but a little south too. And yeah, like kind of right up to the mountains that separate the border. And yeah, I mean it's all desert out there. It's pretty rural. But it's cool, and you're honestly not too far away from where I'm gonna be. So you know how peaceful and nice and quiet it is out there,
It is
which
very
is cool.
yeah. No, it's very that quiet is different when you're used to living in a normal kind of like suburban metro-ish area, like area like we've seen three cars since we've been like
Yeah,
while we're at the property. Like
yeah.
it's like that's a little like it's literally uh like the quiet is like the real quiet.
It's almost deafening. Like you like hear your tinnitus, you're like, oh shit, like I should be careful with my hearing. I'm like, what's that ringing? Like, oh, it's just the absence of background
That's
noise.
no serious. It is. It's crazy. Um, and yeah, that's Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I did finally shave. I had actually grown my beard pretty good, actually, for a while. But it's close enough to the end of the. I wasn't doing any type of no shave November thing. Whatever.
I thought I thought you must be, but apparently
I
not.
No, I was just hadn't shaved. It just it just worked out that it was the most of the month of November. um, but yeah. Uh, so, but yeah, I like it out here. It's actually nice. The sun's getting ready to set behind me back here in the desert. Oh, it's kind of blown out on that side, but see, it's very deserty.
Yeah, a little oversaturated, but we can imagine. And
Yeah,
it looks pretty. It looks pretty.
yeah.
Nothing like desert sunsets, that's for sure. Um, but yeah, what else is on the docket? Any topics that you thought about that you want to talk about today, Shawnee boy? That you want to freestyle on?
Um, I mean, we touched a little bit on the travel. One thing is the weather. I guess I was going to even mention just weather changing and things like that, um, which I was also planning to do maybe for our topic next week. So we don't have to go into that much today if we are going to talk about that kind of stuff. But that's one thing that I had to prepare for because it's nice out here. Like the highs are in the 60s for like all the days, um, but the lows drop into the like 40, 41, um, which is cold for me. I know for some of our friends out there, that's probably not all that cold, but um, those mornings and it's only like 62, 63 degrees in the peak of the day, so it's not like it's a so that was one thing because it's been nice, but well, it got a little cooler back where we like the week or couple weeks before, but shit, October was like 100 degrees, so it's
How are you staying warm? Do you just layer up, or do you blanket up, or do you use heat pads? Like, what do you do? Do you drink hot stuff?
all of the
All
above, literally every one of those. So I got my little Under Armour things on, like my undershirt things that I'm wearing. So for layers, and then when I go out, I'm putting the hoodie on. I put the neck warmer on, and I change the hat to the beanie. And then I have push gloves I'm pushing in, which don't cover my fingers, but at least keeps my hands a little warmer. Um, and then Leah also got me a cool, like flannel looking, it's kind of a snuggie poncho hybrid thing. Like it's got arms, goes over the
Yeah,
chair. Um, so I got that too, and I actually do have a portable heating pad as well that she got me. That just has a little battery pack, and that I was putting underneath my hoodie, so it's just kind of like on my stomach and chest, and just like rolling around with it. And all of those things keep me super warm. I haven't even had to use the heat pad here yet, so but it's been yeah, just kind of made sure to be prepared. And we did buy hot chocolate. We've been drinking a lot of hot tea, and just doing like warmer drinks with most of our meals. And then we also have a little fireplace in here, and the guy provided a couple Duraflame logs, and there's some chopped firewood also in the back. So we're gonna do some s'mores and things like that on Thanksgiving, and have a little fire in here, which will be nice as well.
yeah. It's probably my favorite way to warm up is like be next to a fire. Like the house I grew up in had a fireplace that like I loved. It was like my favorite spot to sit and hang out. And my family has a wood pellet stove, which is, I mean, it's technically still a fireplace. It's just a different style of fireplace, and that thing cooks, man. Like I'll my dad will like fill it up before we go to bed, and I'll wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, like dying of heat because it's like so hot. So I love like the radiant heat of like a fireplace. It's the quickest thing that warms me up. It's something to be very mindful of, especially if you're quadriplegic, and you have like higher paralysis, because you can sit close to it for a while and not realize that maybe your extremities that you can't feel, parts of your body you can't feel, are getting a little hotter than you realize. I've known some people that have burned themselves pretty bad sitting next to a fireplace just trying to warm up, not like touching it or anything,
Yeah,
but just being too close.
close.
I've never burned myself like that, but I've always had like people around like checking my legs and stuff and making sure that I'm not being too dangerous because I'll hug it. Like I'll get pretty close, especially if I'm cold. And yeah, the hot drinks, layering up. I'm a blanket boy, so I don't know. I like jackets and stuff, especially if like I have to be out in public. I'll certainly be like layered up, but if I'm home, or if I can swing it, I'll like prefer to like wrap up in a blanket, like around my back and my shoulders, or wrap it around my head like a little babushka.
Yeah, over the
Um,
head is good.
yeah, like when I'm cold, like usually it's not so much struggle right now with my hair being so long because it kind of keeps my ears warm. But generally, like when I'm cold, I don't really care about the rest of my body. Like I gotta cover my ears. Like I need my ears to be warm. Like I used to sit like this when I was like younger. Like I would be at school and I'd be cold and I'd just like be like hands squeezing my ears trying to warm up.
Dude, I still sit like that sometimes. I'll sit like this
Yeah.
with my hands. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so cold. Like my neck and my ears both trying to warm. And it's not like your hands are even that warm. I feel like my hands typically get freezing at a point, but like, I don't know, just something trying to keep that warm. But yeah,
For sure. I want to say what's up to Darren and Daryl. Sorry I missed your guys' message earlier, but I want to shout you out and say hello. Shout out Miss Olivia and Mickey. Thanks for stopping by. Leon, happy Thanksgiving, Leon. Hope you're doing good, my bro. Sending you guys lots of love.
yeah.
And Darren, I sat too close to the electric radiator first year home. Yeah. Ugh. I see. I like mostly have electric heaters because I live in an apartment and fireplaces aren't a thing, and it's just what we got, right? And I had like um, the house I grew up in. My room was like at the far end of the house, and our fireplace was like in the living room on the opposite side. So the heat would never ever reach my room. So I always had like an electric heater, like an electric radiator that was back there and plugged in. And I don't know, like I would like hug it to like warm up, but the second that I leave the electric heater, it's like almost worse than
It feel
before. Like I feel like it warms me up in the moment, but it doesn't get me warm. So when I leave that source of heat, I almost feel colder than I did before. And I don't know, I just struggle with electric heaters in that sense. Um, the other way to like get the radiant heat that I kind of like is heat pads can be really good in terms of like electric stuff. I think like heat pads can be great. But again, something you have to be really careful for. Like I won't put them like below where I can feel like ever. Like I'll the most I'll do is like keep it on my chest or something, just because I'd be so worried about burning myself or like falling asleep on it. Like it being too hot for too long. Um, and yeah, Olivia said I got heat rash a few times from my electric blanket. Just something to be really, really, really careful with. And then I don't know, stuff like they aren't used as commonly, but like hot water bottles. And again, this is something that you need like help probably setting up, especially if you're a quad, because like dealing with like potentially near scalding water. You in filling those things up and stuff, you have to be super careful, and you probably need some solid dexterity. If you can do it, more power to you. But hot water is another thing that like I do not take risks with, because like it could ruin you if you spill hot water over your body. It can burn you super 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 bad. But hot water bottles, or like rice bags and stuff, can be really awesome sources of heating
No, those
yourself
are
up.
good ones. The rice ones that just hold the heat. Yeah, and I was gonna mention too on the. I said I put my that one heater under my hoodie. I use it on low, and it's a very low heat. Just so
Yeah, yeah.
it's like a super. I would never put it up on the higher settings and not be able to feel it. So yeah, I just do it
Uh,
on, and it creates that little bit of warm like ness in my hoodie. But
and that's the thing too, is like if you're familiar with whatever you're using, you've been using it for a while, like the settings, what your body can take, like the environment, the time, and the setting that you're using it. Like understanding all that, like just make sure to do that. Just be familiar with what you're using and be familiar of like the risks associated. I Another thing that is kind of becoming more common, more popular, is like heated clothing too. Like
Yeah,
I know
that's
like
a good point.
Milwaukee and a couple of like Carhartt, like those like kind of worker clothes type deal, like outdoors type stuff. They have some really cool heated jackets and heated clothing elements that I think can be great. And it's just something like Shawn said. I've used some before. It's just very low heat, but it's
Right.
consistent over a long period of time, and it kind of just creates this layer between you and the outside. So it's not like so much heating you up, but kind of just keeping you at like a more comfortable temperature.
Right. Yeah, no, that's exactly, I think, more what they do for sure. And I was going to also mention, I forget, there it is. Jay mentioned any good functional winter mitts. For pushing, I haven't really found any. When I went to the snow last winter, Leo had bought me some that are pretty cool. Like they have like the big over all four fingers thing that like folds up and around and then it like exposes your fingers if you want them to be out and like a little tiny thumb one too. So like and they like it'll hold back with a magnet. So like I could have my fingers out to like use the phone or do something. But for pushing and things like that, there it was still super hard to like they weren't easy. And they're probably if you're pushing a lot would wear pretty easily because they're not made for that. You know, they're made to keep your hand
I
warm.
don't I don't do mittens or gloves ever. I hate them. I already got mittens basically in terms of how functional my hands are. And if I put mittens on, then they're even more useless.
Yeah, they're
So I don't really fuck with them. Even if it's cold, like I will just like keep my hands tucked in my pockets or inside my like sleeves or something rather than have gloves on. I've used gloves in the past, like for pushing and things like that, but getting them on and off is like not simple or convenient or easy for me ever. And I just never ever used them. And I also don't really live in a climate that like mandates mittens. I mean, if I lived in like Minnesota or like the Midwest or something where like we get like you guys get real serious cold, then I probably would and not complain so much about the inconvenience. Um, but yeah,
yeah. No,
um,
that's what I feel like here you can get away with because that's me, dude. I if we're sitting and not moving, I hands are gonna be in the pockets if it's cold out, like in that hoodie pocket. That's like my favorite. Yeah, that's like the
and I know Angry Quad, like we're definitely blessed out here in terms of temperature. Like, why the fuck do you think I live out here, bro? It's because it's basically because of the weather, um, and how comfortable it is all the time. But it we still have a winter out here. Like it still gets cold. And I go out a lot at night, and like it'll be like high 30s, low 40s sometimes. And I mean, it's cold and you got to be prepared. You got to know what to do. I love that Olivia brought this up because it's another thing that I forgot. Hand warmers. I used to use hand warmers all the time when I was young because we were always outdoorsy, like either filming wildlife or fishing or doing something outdoors with my family. And my dad would carry around the disposable hand warmers, and it's just like what Olivia said. They last like 10 hours. Keep them in your pocket. Um, took them took them wherever, and I would have three or four of those bad boys in my pockets or like in my hands. Like I'd hold them up by my neck, and yeah, they're super awesome. I know they make some that are reusable too, and that it's like a chemical like exothermic reaction, and you can like boil them afterwards, and it like melts the stuff that you activated
yeah.
to produce heat, but they don't output heat for as long as like the disposable ones. I think it's just like a couple hours compared to like getting like all day heat from like the disposable ones. But there's all kinds of different hand warmers out there too. I collect Zippo lighters, and they like make other stuff too. And I got a Zippo hand warmer one year because I just I was like, oh, hand warmer, that's cool. I use it all the time, but that was a little bit more dangerous. Like you have to fill it with lighter fluid, and like there's a flame and stuff, and like so maybe not
Probably
the
not
Zippo,
recommended for uh,
but hand warmers are cool.
Yeah, no, those are cool. And later in quad, take it easy. Thanks for hanging out for a minute. Um, but yeah, man, I was gonna ask you one other question too. So, are you growing your hair out to any certain length? Are you just growing to grow, or I was gonna ask you that earlier when you mentioned your hair keeping your neck warm and stuff. Like, were you just growing? Was that just a winter growth, just so you stay warm, or are you going for like you gonna go like Andrew did last year and do like a little ponytail that looks ridiculous? Just kidding.
I don't know. This has been like my depression era hair. Like I don't know, just been like dealing with some severe depression lately, and I don't know, just growing it out. I'm like metamorphosizing. I'm like transitioning. I've never really grown my hair out this long. It's not for any like practical reason other than like just growing it out. In fact, it's like more inconveniencing than anything. Like I know why people keep their hair short now because damn, it's a pain in the ass to fucking deal with. Like washing it, brushing it, maintaining it. Like it's not super simple or easy. I don't know. I'm a hippie at heart too. I've never like grown my hair out like very long. Like this is seriously the longest it's probably ever been in my whole life, except for maybe when I was like just 2 or 3, 4 years old. Like I had my hair like right about the same length. Um, and I don't know how long I'm gonna keep it. I might keep growing it down to my waist. I might cut it all off tomorrow. Kind of depends. And I don't know, like I was talking to my sister about it. Like I have been kind of going through a lot lately. And uh, I'm kind of just trying to get over a hurdle. In terms of like just feeling better and feeling healthier and feeling happier. And once I get there, I might be ready for like to come out of my cocoon a little bit, cut the hair, and kind of start with some fresh energy.
Okay.
But I've just been growing it out, and I'm honestly kind of feeling it. Like I like how it looks. The ladies like it. Some people seem to like it, or at least, and honestly, I don't really give a fuck if they do, anyways, because I like it, and that's all that matters. So
No, yeah, nice. Yeah, I just was curious because it was getting longer, and then you had mentioned keeping your neck and stuff warm or keeping your ears warm. So I was
that's
just
just a happy accident, like as a result of it, honestly. Like I noticed that like my ears are a lot warmer. And especially like I wear headphones a lot when I'm out and about, or just like generally. And I'll put the headphones on over my hair, and then it's like wearing like earmuffs or something. Like it really keeps me nice and warm around the ears.
nice.
Um, and I feel you, Jay. Like that's like what I struggle with too. Is like I have really oily hair. Like I have really like healthy, beautiful hair. Like I love my hair. But man, oh man, like after a couple days, it can get a little greasy. And I mean, like it's not like too much of a pain to like wash it. Like I shower like very regularly, so I'll just do it. But it's also like a whole different thing when you have long hair because you can't wash all the oils out of it or else it's like too poofy and too crazy, but you can't have like it too greasy because then it just like looks kind of gross and nasty. And so like it's a tricky balance, and I figured it out. Like I know like I got like a day or two where like I don't use soap or whatever, and I'll just like wash it, and it'll be poofy the next day. Like the day after is like always the best day where it looks the best. Like I can style it, like I can work with a little bit, but day three I gotta wash it again and get it all poofy.
Yeah, nice, dude. Yeah,
But
that seems like it's definitely a little more maintenance than
well,
just.
now I know why like ladies with long hair spend so much time working on it because like you have to, like yeah, like you literally have to. And I don't know if I'll do the ponytail. Like I don't have like intending care daily and stuff. I don't honestly know that I could do that with my hands. I'll have to I'm gonna have to play around with some stuff if I intend to keep growing it out because I can like pull it out of my face when I have a hat on, which it like just to like sneak into my eyes. But without the hat, man, like it's it's all over the place. It's in my face. Like I got I got to figure out what to do in that case. But yeah, man, just growing it out.
Nice. Yeah, I was just curious because I thought of it when we were talking earlier. But yeah, man, that's cool, dude. Um, you can
And I
save
think it's a
your
vibe.
oils.
I mean, Look at me, dog. I know everyone was complimenting you earlier, but I'm fucking sexy, bro. So
That's right, bro. Hey, dude. I'm digging it. I like the hair. That's why. That's why I was just curious. That's why I was like, is it how long is it going? But uh,
past the shoulders, we'll see. I don't know if I could do that, but right where I'm at now,
that
I'm
seems
doing
like it
pretty
would
good.
honestly be so much maintenance. Like past where you have it now, like you said, it's already seems like a lot. But I'm just, but yeah,
Honestly, like it's also getting like long enough to where like sometimes like when I'm transferring and stuff, like I don't know, like I'm like accidentally like you know pulled on it or like I don't know, sometimes like in bed and stuff, like I don't know, I'm just like it's so long now, like it's got caught like pulled. I'm like, oh my god, like what the fuck am I doing with this crazy long hair? But so like I said, if it gets any longer, I don't know. I don't know what my plan is. We'll see. You guys have to just keep showing up every week and
we'll
be a part of the saga.
there you go. We'll start to have like a weekly in chat. Give Tom what you think of his.
But it's funny is I mean I really have to talk to you about these videos. I recorded some videos where I was like doing some like I don't know, it's like quad hair care, like grooming and stuff. Like shaving, brushing your hair and stuff. And because I had like such long hair, I'm like, oh, let me do this like while I got it. So I'll have to like work on that video and maybe upload it because I think it'd be good. And I think it's also something important. Like, I mean, a lot of people got different hairstyles. When you don't have any fine motor control, how the hell do you manage it?
No, that's actually a really good one for different hygiene stuff and things like that. And because like so for you, you do pretty much like you do all of your own daily hygiene stuff, right? Like I mean,
Uh, I do have someone to assist me in the shower.
yeah, no shower.
I can do like I don't know, I call it a horse bath where I just like grab a wet soapy washcloth and I'm in my chair naked, just like scrubbing myself down with a towel and like making sure I'm good. And like I can shove my head in a sink and like rinse or wash it if I really have to. I try not to do that too much. I mean, I wash my face every day, especially with the long hair because it like gets all the oils like give me acne and stuff. Um, and I do all my shaving, teeth brushing, stuff like that. So I do all of that, like grooming, hygiene. But I do have someone help me in and out of a shower because
Yeah.
I use a Hoyer lift and I have a shower chair that slides onto a bracket in the tub and stuff, and I cannot do that independently. So I do have assistance with the showering.
Nice.
Um, I when I'm in the shower, I try to do as much as I can, and this is like something that I've done since I was a kid. Like my mom would toss me in the shower, and she would just like hand me the soaps and stuff, and be like, "Okay, like scrub yourself, like here's your face soap, here's your body soap, whatever." But she would hand it to me and be like, "You do it, scrub yourself up," and stuff for like my back. Then she would help me, or obviously like if I needed help or if I was struggling. But um, I found it super helpful in like it really enabled me to work on that. So it's still how I do it now. Like once I'm in the shower, my attendant will she'll just like hand me the soap. Like she'll hand me a washcloth. She'll help me put some soap on it, and then I'll wash my face. And then she'll squeeze some body soap on it. I'll scrub everywhere I can get to myself, and then I'll have her like help me with my back, or like help me with my legs, or like in between my toes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And the reason I do that, I'll have her like just squeeze the shampoo on my head. Then I sit there for a couple minutes and like try to scrub it and do it all myself. Um, and so, like I've thought to myself, like, why are you making this harder on yourself, Tom? Like you have someone standing here, like watching you do all this. But I still do it every time I shower, and I plan on continuing to try to maintain some independence with it because it helps keep me strong. It helps keeps me active. Like being in the shower and like balancing and moving and scrubbing, and it also helps me like pay attention to my body in a very like meaningful way. In that, like I'm like moving and like looking at my skin and stuff and like really making sure that like everything's normal and healthy and good and taken care of the right way. And I think that's super important. That is if you're able to. I mean, if you need like full help and assistance in the shower, then that's cool too. Just make sure to communicate to your caregiver that they do a good job and they get everywhere and like just be mindful in that sense as well. But I like to just do what I can in terms of like managing my hygiene and stuff because it helps keep me healthy. It helps me maintain my body better, I think, and it helps keeps like just keeps me strong and active. And doing all those ADLs, as many as you're able to do, I think is important.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I remember, like really like trying to learn and do on my own, like and just and same thing, like just do the main parts I can reach. When I actually early on, I had like this big wide shower bench thing I made. I was actually even able to pick up my legs and like wash my own feet and all that. But I have that was a lot of years ago, so I haven't done that in a lot of years. Now I always just get help with that, and now honestly, Leah pretty much helps me with a lot of it, all of it, because it just is easier. But I also try to help with other stuff. Like now, I'm trying to help with cooking and different things,
Yeah,
different ADLs, just saving energy. That's the thing is you gotta mind what you can and can't do with every in your day. Like don't overdo
the
everything.
balance the balance is paramount to success. Like if you're doing too much, then you're not going to be in a position to maybe do some of what you need to do. And absolutely, like it's like that spoons analogy. We only got so many spoons, and you gotta make sure that you have some ready when you need them. And sometimes that means getting help earlier in your day or for different things so that you have the energy and the ability to do what you got to do later on. And I think that's a really good point, Shawn, and something that everyone has to master when you're like balancing your care and balancing your ADLs and stuff is like, okay, like I certainly can do this, but what um position is it going to put me in afterwards?
Yeah,
Like maybe I should try to get some help so that like I'm more energized or more comfortable or better able to do whatever it is that it might cost you to do the one thing. So yeah, that's super important. And I don't know, like in my shower chair, like I lift my legs up too. Like I'll lift my leg up so that my caregiver can like scrub like under my legs
oh
and stuff.
right.
So it's just like being active and participatory in your care. I think it's just maybe the point that I was getting to. I think it's a tricky balance and one that I'm still working on 27 years later, and something that I'll continue to work on for the rest of my life. And I'm sure it's the same for you too, Shawn. It's just like kind of a constantly evolving thing, just like balancing your care and what you do, what you organize to get help with and stuff.
Yeah, no, I that's exactly right. Finding the balance of it, man. Because yeah, you can't overdo everything you're doing and kill yourself on that. So, and also I was gonna mention too, for somebody like a higher level quad, like doing whatever you can is great. But like if you can't physically do anything, just I've now started to learn that just being on top of managing your care, knowing what and where your supplies are, how everything is, so you can tell somebody everything, like you can still manage your own care. Like I still feel like that's like a very great form of independence and like a way for every like people that might not be able to do even like the little bit of helping doing themselves, like washing their body and stuff. Like if
Yeah.
you can't do that, just direct the person and be in charge of your care. So
There's this thing that I learned back in like sixth or seventh grade in my first like one of my first science classes, and it's a part of the scientific method and like experimentation and stuff, where it's like when you're laying out an experiment you have to like detail the steps, like every step, every little step down to the smallest detail. And I always thought of that when I was like learning my care. Like when my mom was teaching me all the steps to like my bladder and my bowel care so that I could then communicate it to someone else, because I have to all the time. Like I have consistent regular nurses, but sometimes I have new nurses and I have help through an agency, and they unfortunately change more regularly than I wish that they did. And the only way I'm kind of able to be successful with that is I can communicate my care very effectively. I know exactly where everything is in my apartment. I know exactly every component and piece. I might not be able to like perform like all the components of like my bowel care, my bladder care, but I can I always like make the joke like I could teach a monkey to help me with my care if it came down to it because like it's simple, but I just know how to communicate it very, very, very effectively because I've taught dozens of people how to do it. But I cannot tell you how important what is like Shawn just said is like understanding your care, understanding not just your care but your environment and the supplies and everything that goes into it. Just having that knowledge and being able to communicate it is everything. It's literally everything. You and that is being participatory in your care. And it's just communicating like little things. Like for instance, for like I've had a lot of nurses come in and they'll help me like dress or like after my shower and stuff. I can dress myself, but I'll get assistance with it on days that I do have care because why not? I got someone here and like I'm getting out of the shower, I'm like might as well just help me get dressed. But also I take it as a time for them to like look over my skin, my skin integrity and stuff, especially on places where I can't easily look myself, like on my back or on my backside or on the backs of my legs or on the bottom of my feet and stuff like that. Now, if I've had nurses before, like where I won't explicitly ask them and they just won't be mindful of it. Of course, like generally, if they see something, be like, hey, that doesn't look normal or whatever. But it's something that I do every day. I have care, which is like it's a skin check. I'm like roll over, both sides, and I'm like okay, and I like physically tell them like, hey, like I need you to like check my skin integrity. Like let's roll me over. Like let me know if there's anything. Like if there is anything, take a picture, send it to me so I can, you know and be aware and keep track of it and stuff. And just being able to communicate that, I think communicate those types of things is really super, super important.
No, 100%, dude, for sure is. So yeah, anybody out there, just make sure. I feel like we talked about a lot of different stuff through the show, but I feel like that's almost like that is like the most important part of like somebody with a disability's life. At least to start, just figuring that out and getting it to where you are managing it, and yeah. So, but yeah, dude, we're kind of wrapping up on the hour here now. So anybody out there, and also just want to mention how I roll. Uh, Moved out to Cali. He said is in Chico now. I think you were in Alaska before, right? I'm pretty sure you were out
Shout
here.
out, dude. I'm not in Chico, but I grew up just a couple hours away from Chico. Um, but that's super awesome. That I hope it's been a. I mean, I can only imagine how difficult to transition. It is moving states, but I'm really happy that you're out here in beautiful California, and I hope the transition wasn't too difficult. But yeah, I'd love to hear more about it. Um,
Yeah,
have my help take pics with my phone of everywhere I can't see. Yeah, that's I think you're really good practice. I don't have like be taking pictures of my naked body every day. They're here because it's not necessary, and um, yeah, it's just not necessary. But if there is ever an instance where they see something that's abnormal, like I will always have them take a picture of it, mostly just to like one show my doctor because it's not always easy to disrobe or like whatever in my doctor's office. Um, but also just like track its progress. Like having like a date and a time of like a current state and then being able to like reference that a few days later to make sure that there is progress being made or to note if it's getting worse or something, I think is essential to being successful and healthy when it comes to like treating and managing your skin is
yeah,
tracking the progress and not just kind of being like, oh, it looks okay. Like hopefully it'll be all right. Like you got to be really vigilant.
yeah. No, that's one thing for sure. Like you might not need somebody to take the picture every day, like you said. Like, but if they notice a mark, they see anything abnormal, take that picture, show you, um, and monitor the progress on that thing. So that is great advice for anybody out there dealing with stuff like that. And I don't actually have. Just realized the show banner is loaded on the laptop here for the display, but we have no show Thursday. It's Thanksgiving this week. This is
And
the only show for the week, so thanks for hanging out, guys. But
Anybody that doesn't know, this show is sponsored by two awesome companies, Mobility Professionals and Urology Professionals. They help support Live to Roll so that we can keep doing what we're doing here. And we really appreciate them. So I'll take a second to tell you about those companies. Mobility Professionals is a DME that specializes in wheelchairs and other durable medical equipment here in Southern California. Unfortunately, you have to be local to the area to take advantage of their services. But if you are, I highly encourage you to do so because they are a great company that takes all of that stuff very seriously because it's serious stuff. And getting the right equipment is super important. And they'll help make the process easy and they'll help do it right. Um,
Yeah, it took me a minute to get that there, but I got it. But yeah, thank
no,
you to
you're
our
great.
sponsor.
And Urology Professionals is a national company. They specialize in urological supplies. So anywhere in the US of A, if you need regular catheter supplies, or urological supplies, and you don't have a reliable company that makes it difficult to get your supplies, I really encourage you go give them some love, shout it out, check it out.
Yes,
Um,
thank you for
and
that, and thank you to our sponsors.
we're talking about caregivers and stuff. Shout out to all the awesome caregivers. There are. It seems like we have one in the chat. Shout out Cheryl, um,
And
who
yeah, that's
says,
cool. But I do appreciate not soliciting in the chat if for future reference here. So, but yeah, no, that is caregivers are important, and it's hard to
"Yeah,
find.
we'll let it slide today. It's all good, Cheryl. Don't worry about it too
It's
much."
Thanksgiving.
But I see where Sean's coming from. We could talk about that for a second, just to give some resources in terms of locating a caregiver. Particularly for our buddy High Roll um, up in Chico. If you haven't enrolled in home supportive services in the state of California, highly encourage you to do so um, because they will get you a lot of support and hours for caregiving services. They also have a program called PASC. I think it's Providers Assistance
This
Services.
council or something like that.
Yeah, and basically, it's a offshoot of in-home supportive services that is service provided by the state that just basically gives you a list of local caregivers that are available that you could potentially hire. You have to do the legwork and make the calls and reach out to the individuals, but these are individuals that are like actively seeking work generally. So that's a really great resource if you're trying to find someone. Um, I know people that have posted, including Shawnee Boy, a lot on Craigslist just for caregiving services. To it costs like $10 to put an ad up for a month for in your local area for caregiving services. Not just Shawn, but I know a lot of people have had success and finding caregivers through that. But also like a more vetted and legitimate service, only that it's like a dedicated service, is care.com,
Yeah,
which you have to pay like a higher fee in order to post ad on there asking for services. I don't know. I think it's like $50 or something. And that might even be cheaper than
I think
that.
it's like 20
Uh,
bucks a month or something like that. 20 to
20 bucks.
30.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Uh,
That's not too bad. But the people that are on there are generally like looking for work. I think there's like a background check program through that. If there's like any providers that are trying to sign up on that side, you can like look through caregivers that are advertising services looking for work. They detail and specify the kinds of care that they're familiar with and stuff. So if you're needing more like intensive care, like bladder and bowel care management, medical type care and stuff, I think it's easier to see that information and maybe vet the person that you're trying to hire. Um, but and how I roll, it's not pass, it's PASC, PASC,
yes.
PASC, and yeah, I think Shawn said it. It stands for Providers Assistance Services Council. You can Google that. But yeah, that's just the offshoot of IHSS that tries to pair up the client with the provider.
Yeah.
And because generally the way IHSS is set up is it's kind of designed for like friends or family to be able to get some kind of compensation for caregiving services that they were generally providing just for being family and friends. But now it's kind of a more legitimate service where you can hire outside people, and the PASC service is meant to just get you connected to individuals that are already enrolled in IHSS and kind of ready to work. So, all right, glad you got it. How I roll. And yeah, those are just a couple of other additional services that you guys can use. We all know how difficult it is finding new caregivers. That transition can be really difficult and stressful and not easy. So, using everything at your disposal to make it easier, I think, is important.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. So yeah, hopefully you guys can look that information up if you are in California or other states. I think have similar programs, but try to look something like that up. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope everybody's gonna have happy Thanksgiving holiday with family, friends, whatever you're doing. Stay safe.
And hey, if you're feeling lonely, if you're not having such a great holiday, that's okay too. If you feel like reaching out, um, just shoot me an email, tom@liveToroll.org
Yeah.
or tom_Conway at me.com.
So
um, and yeah, if you, I just know holidays can be tough for some people, and we're here for you. If you need someone to talk to,
and you can
hang out
also
with.
message on Instagram. You can message Shawn at Live to Roll or on just Instagram at Live to Roll. You know,
And yeah, if you do reach out through Instagram, and you're looking for me, Shawn will get you in touch because I'm not on the gram, but Shawn's got all my personal
I can
info.
forward you his email. Yeah.
Permission to forward anything along. So definitely, however you want to try to connect, if you feel so inclined, don't hesitate to do so. That's all I wanted to say.
But yeah, thank you guys again. Thanks, Tom, for hanging out. It was fun, and thanks everybody. Like I said, hope everybody has a nice holiday weekend, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Live to roll, everyone.
Let's roll, everybody.